The ECB have finished their review into the Ashes debacle and the future of Bazball, Brandon McCullum, Rob Key, Ben Stokes, English cricket, English Test cricket in general. And what have they come up with? Nothing. Nothing's going to change. I'm absolutely. Oh no, I lied to you. Luke Wright has gone as a selector, so I mean, I guess that's something. Maybe Luke Wright was the problem. Um, I don't know what to make of it all. It's when something's so clearly gone so badly wrong and the results haven't been what they needed to be, you have to make a change, whether that's in the world of work, the world of sport, in your professional life, whatever it is. There has to be accountability. I'm just absolutely blown away that there hasn't been a change. I think McCullum's incredibly fortunate to still be there. I think it's criminal that Gary Kirsten has been allowed to go to Sri Lanka. I think he would have been a great choice for our test coach. I am pleased that Ben Stokes is still here. And in terms of rallying cry, Ben Stokes had this to say. He said, "I fucking love cricket. I fucking love this team. And I fucking love being England captain." So, yeah, at least Stokes seems up for it, I guess. I can't imagine the likes of, Peter May, Mike Brearley and Strauss and Cook quite putting it in those terms. But I'm certainly happy that Stokes is still captain. However, it's. I'll read you just a couple of other things that he did say. He said, "We appreciate every single person who supports us. We do what we do for many reasons, but one of those reasons is to bring our supporters and fans happiness and a sense of pride." I wonder if Ben Stokes, or for that matter, any of this England setup, understand quite how expensive flights are to Australia now compared to what they used to be, quite how expensive hotels are and food and everything else that goes along with supporting England on that tour. The sacrifices and the savings, the Barmy Army and the rest of the supporters will have gone to, are immense to get out there. And what they were served up with was pathetic. It was pitiful. The first test was over in 2 days. 2 days from a position from day 2 of lunch when England win the absolute ascendancy, and you think we've got a chance of winning in 4 days here. We are gone in 2 days. The whole Ashes was gone in about 10.5 days. England just went there, undercooked, underprepared, didn't have a plan B, didn't really have a shit about having a plan B. They just played their way. Australia had Mitchell Starc, really that was it. What it calls for is some discipline, some ability to soak up pressure, some basic reading of where the game is and what's needed. And what's needed was to just see off Starc, and you will, if you want to score quicker later, you'll get your opportunities. It's red hot in Australia. Keep them out in the field. Okay, wear them down, grind them down, make their bowlers bowl their second, third, fourth spells instead of going hell for leather. And it's all over in 2 days. And their bowlers, obviously their tails are up and they're fresh as a daisy for the next game. So for him to be saying things like that, I mean, some of the stuff that McCullum has said in the aftermath, he's not going to change his ways, right? He's very set in his ways. He's already told us that. They all seem mates. I know there's been a suggestion that Stokes and McCullum fell out. It was noticeable that Stokes started playing properly as that series went on. He made the comment about there's no room for weak men in his change room. I'd be very interested to hear. We're not going to hear, unfortunately, who was talking about. I'm not really sure what that was. I think that was more of a general. He realised that the mindset to go out to Australia and play the way they're playing was wrong. I think that's why, to his credit, he tried to change. But for nothing to have changed when things have gone so badly wrong and we've lost, well, we're not lost, we drew with India and Australia at home. We've not beaten India and Australia at all. It needs to change. Other teams have wised up to how we're playing. This is, they're going to be ready for us. It is not going to work. It does not need a slight evolution or nip-tuck, as McCullum put it. It needs a fresh set of eyes, a fresh approach. It needs a slightly more old-school approach. It needs an approach which respects Test cricket. The clue is in the name. It's a test. It lasts for 5 days. It is unlike any other sporting challenge I can think of in that sense, a team game. It tests you to the limit as an individual within that team, and especially when you're on tour as a team, it pushes you, you really find out what you're made of and what your teammates are made of. And this England team are, I think, because of the entertaining cricket, they'd come across as very likeable and they got away with it. And it's amazing when the shit hits the fan how things can unfold, right? Because now, to me, they just come across as arrogant. They know better than you and I. They know better than, Michael Vaughan, who captained England to beat probably the greatest team that's ever played the game. They know get better than guys like Botham and Boycott, and they genuinely think they do. They genuinely think that the best way was to go there relaxed, not really warm up too much, not play any serious warm-up games, play a bit of golf, do some training, and then just go and do our thing and play our way. And the fact is, we're going to continue with this, and we will probably beat New Zealand this summer in our conditions, and we will probably beat Pakistan this summer in our conditions. But how does that progress? That's what we've been doing anyway. You have Ollie Pope coming out and saying, how much he likes, he wouldn't make a change, how much he likes things. Had Joe Root saying it'd be silly to make a change. Well, why would it be silly when we've just been humiliated in Australia by a team who had 25% of their bowling attack available, their captain only available for one game, and a patchy batting lineup? It just doesn't make any sense. I can't believe they've had this review and they still think they know best. It's really amazing times. And I think the next thing on my horizon is the ECB and the 100. And I think the structure of county cricket. I really worry about, where our red ball cricket is going in this country from a county level, the test match level. And I think this just signals more of the same. It's very worrying for me. Anyway, enough on that. I'll see you in the next one. We can discuss the county structure and the 100.